But the teachers are alive. They're not books. They are the very living essences of nature itself.
What a strange person.
Unbelievably powerful supercomputer that's running our reality, and we don't have a clue as to how to operate it.
So when maybe you or somebody else creates an AGI system and you get to ask her one question, what would that question be? What's outside the simulation?
Say in your mind, say to yourself, I am more than my physical body, because I am more than physical matter. I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world.
You don't have all the answers to the questions about reality. You're not wanting to know the ultimate truth about God. I see that as just divination. It's a part of a family and explorers of consciousness. I'm the void one.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting from a shack on a hill in the mossy creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas. This is Lighting the Void, and I'm Joe Roop. Welcome. It's Wednesday night, May the 13th. Are you stoked or what? Frankie Fearless is back. Yes, he is. From IamWeAreFearless.com, also his famous YouTube show, infamous YouTube show. Last time I checked it out, he was talking about how to be your own superhero. We're going to talk about that. You should go check it out more. Thank you guys for listening every single night. I appreciate it. Thank you for going to the network sponsors, to getthetea.com, to ancientlifeoil.com, taking care of yourselves, saying the Fringe sent you there. Also those that need it. Thank you for going to Metaphorical Archaeology. Give Barbara a call, 214-995-3754. The call-in number for tonight is 1-800-588-0335. You can also go to the Fringe FM chat by going to thefringe.fm/chat room. Now, before you say anything, I realize that COVID is affecting people and their lives. You don't have to let it affect everything, but understand that it affects what I do too as well. And so, I've got these orders that show processing. They're processing. They're in. People got their stickers, but the shirts and stuff, it's all shipped to order. And, there's just delays. I mean, I'm sure you're getting the emails. I'm hoping they're sending you emails about it. They're backed up. So understand that that's what's going on. And we're backed up because we're trying to get the new Fringe site up and get the Outsider newsletter up. And so the archives, switching servers, everything over. I told you guys it was a big change was happening, and it's happening. So those of you that can bear with us, that are bearing with us, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Also head over to ufoseekers.com. So I got to tell you why. If you're into ufology, that's where you get the truth. Head over there at UFO Seekers on Twitter, youtube.com/UFO Seekers. And my Twitter is still suspended. My login, they won't let me log in. They've suspended my account. And so I've got a post up there from a week ago or something, 2 weeks ago. And I'm posting on Twitter. It's just a nightmare. I can only do it on the Fringe FM, and I don't want to confuse people. But anyways, I'm just letting you guys know what's up. We did do a extra audio and video with Michael Wan last night. That's going to go up in the Patreon feed. Michael Wan is in a church doing his initiations, and inside of a church, he like opened up the video, let me watch it. So I recorded it, and we're going to put all that stuff in the Patreon as well. So thank you guys for supporting us. So I don't want to ramble on too much while we got Frankie here, because I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on something if I do. Right. But if any of you guys were here last time, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't know who Frank Castle is, he's a writer, producer, MC, and host of Fearless Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. And he's a founding member of the music group HeistClick from 1998 to the present, as well as a Neo Shaman. And Neoshamanism is not a single cohesive belief system, but a collective term for many philosophies and activities. His YouTube show channel, youtube.com/Frank Castle Fearless. You got to check that out on Saturday nights. And I left all the links right on the front page on the website, all of his links. And it was just one hell of a time the last time you were on here, man. I got to learn about Space Jesus, all kinds of stuff, brother. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, man.
Joe, it's great to be here.
Yeah, I remember like when that show ended, I said, you know, I've got to stay in touch with this guy. I got to make sure he's a regular. Hopefully he'll keep coming back. Because, dude, when I went and watched your show, I like the way you do it on YouTube, because it's like you and your partner there, and both of you are just, it's not real. You don't script it or put an outline up or anything, do you? You just go. It's kind of like what I do too.
No.
You know?
Week by week now. Experience by experience.
Yeah, I love it.
And I was scared to do this. It was originally on radio, and it took 1 year of convincing me to just come out and talk. And then I finally was like, I'm going to do it. And then I'm not going to do it in front of a camera.
Yeah, right.
And then almost 3 years of that. And then recently I just said, I got to do this. Something in me, the purpose just keeps expanding. The flower just keeps opening. I'm not afraid to be on camera. The problem was, it's a story I'm telling. I don't want to hurt nobody that's like family. So if they're directly looking at me, they're like, oh, look who's talking. So let's go check out. And like, I'm trying to avoid those kind of issues with certain people, because there's no getting through to them. So to have them barking at me and asking questions, I don't waste my breath anymore. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm trying to show the world you can save yourself. You're the creator. It's you, right? And if I have to do it by full example, right, for whatever that means, then I'm going to do it, but there's no more sacrifice. So it's going to be done in a way that's awesome. So when I say superpowers, I mean it, but everyone's got it. However, it's like the X-Men. Everyone's can do, your Iceman, Fireman, eyeball shooting guy or whatever. So we have all the characters. Right. And what does that mean? Well, some of you use tarot, right? The tarot. Some of you sit and meditate and get the information. Frank broke through with ayahuasca. Now he just comes through. Like I don't need the ayahuasca anymore, though I love it. I love Mother. It's a requirement every few months just to upkeep the system. Right. But it's not something that I feed myself constantly to get the answers. I'm open. This is it. Then now I can experience life for the first time. Right. Right. Not that I have to rely on her, and then I need this, and then I have to have a cigarette. And there's already enough stuff. Right. I'm not an addict. I'm not a victim. If I need my mother, I go to her and I speak with her. Right. If I need my higher self, I speak to my higher self.
Right on.
If I need Joe, I call Joe. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is how I begin to work things. It's the full moon. You want to work with Kali? Bring her out. Because eventually you turn into her. Why? Because she's an avatar that comes forth from the energy. At first, it appears she's just doing everything for you. Right? But you're watching her and you're like, wait a second. I'm the energy master. I'm like the lightning rod to this whole thing, the rainbow bridge, the great connector to the whole thing. So you're part of me too, because that color that she comes out of, that's me. So she's coming out of me to teach me. So the teacher presents itself when the student is ready. And thus the lesson begins. So she handles whatever, demonics, issues with ETs looking in your window, interdimensionals, whatever's there. It's all there. And it's all happening now. And be sure if it happened once, it's continuously happening. right? So as our awareness grows, so she comes out and does her stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I want to be able to do that, so I don't have to call you every month under the full moon. I could just kind of pay you respects through me, through my heart.
Right on.
Without having to rely, oh, Kali, come and save me, or Shiva, save the day, or Space Jesus, you gotta save me, come off the cross. Right? Like they're not there for that. It literally has nothing to do with that. They're like, somehow the teachings get mixed up, like we come to save the day. You save yourself and become the hero, because every time we send Space Jesus, you murder him. Right? So it's like, oh, snap. And it's like, yeah.
I just
First
want to
round
talk
on
to him.
Pangea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he's a great guy.
Space Jesus. Definitely.
When I think
want to talk to
Space Jesus, check it out. You got to think more Galactic Federation of Light. The way I discuss Jesus from space, I call him Space Jesus because he was with them. Right. So I'm like, hey, that your robe, right? I don't know if we discussed this. I was like, it's white, right? And it's so white. I love the color white, but I tend to wear it 2 or 3 times and throw it out. I don't even try to clean it anymore. Right. Not white no more. So he's got this flowing robe thing going, but it looks like something that you would wear in like the cantina on Star Trek, where Whoopi Goldberg would serve drinks. Something she was wearing in one of the, like the white, it doesn't stain. It's always flowing. You're not hot. You're actually quite nice in it, but it looks like you got a cape almost. It's just like, oh, I'm like, what is that? Does that stain? And he was like, no, it doesn't stain actually. I was like, is it nanobots? And he's like, no, it's not nanobots. He's like, you guys are right there with it though. I'm like, I can't wait. Like, how do you start a conversation with someone? I don't see you above me, right? It's a magnificent situation, but what are you supposed to do? Remove the astonishment, guys, gals, remove the astonishment. It's cool. Yeah. It's fantastic even. Yeah. It's astonishing. Yes. However, if you stick in astonishment, you'll be praying to that guy in 5 minutes and he'll be like, I got to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to make me your savior again, right?
So Shiva says to me, I go, does this happen all the time? It's like, well, you deal with it, right? Because it's the avatar that comes forth from the energy, but it's also a real being. The being ascended and did it and mastered that. And that's why that being as an ascended master comes forward. From the infinite color array, you get Shiva out of his. Right? Every day, he says, is a struggle. He goes, I don't even have an every day like that, like the way you have it. It's just a struggle. Right? And the minute you do show up on a prayer and they don't see themselves as the creator, he goes, I'll take the energy. That's why some people look at me as demonic or whatever. Like, you're sending a prayer at me. I don't necessarily have to do anything. Right? You're like, the teacher shows up to help you and you're sending prayers at him. You're not paying attention. You're too busy. You're wrapped in that world of, oh, it's him. It's, you know, how many people would faint around Michael Jackson? Like, think of that kind of stuff on a massive scale. It's like you can't get anything accomplished. Nobody's really listening to you. It's just you. And they're like, that's why they don't show up. We can't just all just roll anymore like that. That's why you guys have to do it. It's on you. 100% on you. But that's the idea of this whole thing. It's to do it yourself. Like, what can I do for you to make this more comfortable? Can't do it for you. I can't take the pain away from you. Would you like me to tell you to go left or right? You have to like kind of invite me in and be like, hey, listen, I need a little help with this. All right, fine. Go left. That's all you're getting. You're the master, not me. I'm here to teach you. Like, I'm not here to save you. I could show you how to save yourself, right? You show a man how to fish, you feed him a lifetime, or you feed him and he keeps coming back. You just keep feeding him. They take advantage. Everyone takes advantage of the energy, of the outcome, of the niceness. But don't mistake the niceness for a weakness. I'm a master. So I'm going to teach you. And if you don't learn, I'm going to tell you to beat it. You get an F on your grade, you're out. I don't have a lifetime to spend wasting my time on those that are wasting time. I had a lifetime already of that. You ask me what's the biggest depressing thing of my entire life is all the times people let you down and all the times that people would waste your time, which is the most precious thing because you don't get it back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So why are you wasting people's time? I don't waste your time. You waste my time. I've had it, and people have wasted my time. A lot of people, and I won't deal with it. And they find that rude, and I'm like, no, it's not rude.
I swear to God, I swear to God, I was talking about the same thing this morning with somebody. It's like, but what it would do, man, is I cared too much. And it's not like I don't care,
Yeah, well,
and it's not like I stopped caring, but I could use my energy more efficiently for things that want to, like vibe with what I'm doing,
For sure. You're wasting time. Time is precious. Every moment. Right? When you're on your deathbed, everybody's like, oh, I should have just loved him more. And everyone's learning their lessons when they visit the funeral, Paula. Every time someone dies and there's a wake and a mass and a this and a that, oh, we should all get together more and do the right thing. And then you go back to not doing it. So, blah. So it proves itself every single time. So just you are the master. And how did I become a master of anything? I had to cut off all the BS, all the bull and the nonsense and the distractions and master myself. I don't have time for you because I have to take care of me. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I don't care. I literally, what makes you think I don't have my own set of issues? What do you think, me and Paula just walk through life? I tell you some of these stories where I get knocked down and dragged out and you're still pushing my buttons. I'm like, I was just thrown around the room by your black goo. You think I want that? You think I want you coming into my home and then dropping off that stuff and then feeling all happy as you leave and get it back because you don't pay attention again? So now I have to deal with this in my home? The answer is no. So you're not welcome in my house because it's like not wiping your feet. It's like the classic Dave Chappelle thing when you're wiping the dirty feet on the couch and you're screaming about it, forget about your couch, right? So the answer is no. So listen, I love everyone, Joe, right? So I'm like, listen, I see a lot of people, they want to hug me, handshake me. I stopped doing it recently too. In the last 4 months, people are like, hey, what's up? It was before this whole thing started, no touching. I stopped touching people because their stuff jumps to me. They hold my hand extra long and they want to rub on it and I know the demon's jumping into my hand. I know the energy's mixing with mine when you do that. Don't touch me. You're mixing your DNA with me.
Exactly.
And my stuff is precious and you're dirty. And you're dirty. Like you look at some people and you're like, it. And it looks back at you and goes, yeah, but you're here and you'll clean it up. And it's like, no, I don't want to. Right? Like,
you don't need that you don't need that kind of responsibility.
As a shaman,
man,
check this out. Here's something as a shaman, right? So people will come and do ayahuasca and cry about the purge. The purge to me is my favorite part because you're blowing out everything that's not supposed to be there. And then 10 seconds after it's over, you feel great, right? So they'll beg and cry while they're going under this process. Like, I can't. And guess who has to do it for them? I'll pull the bucket from them and go, I'll do it. Because you're wasting an hour holding on so tight. And then I feel as the shaman, you're in my home and I'm connected to you and the energies are swirling and connecting. And I'm like, you're having a problem. It's almost like their higher self is like, do it for them. Please do it. And then I just take the bucket and throw up. And I'm puking hard. Like you'd be like, yo, what is going on with Frank? I'm already clean and clear. Where's this stuff even coming from? Where's it coming from? I already had my purge. I purged for 3 days and I was clean. Nothing came out of me. I was empty on all ends. Even when I go front end, back end, everything's clean and clear. And then you come in the house and black and brown is shooting out of my mouth and nose. within moments. Where's that? What is that? What is that developing? People talk about like the black goo and stuff. How does that develop? Oh, it's nano. Yeah, nano, but its release is based on, this is going to sound funny, but Ghostbusters 2, the slime, you get angry, it amplifies the anger. You're happy, it amplifies the happy. But they twisted the slime and it was negative based slime. So they had to get rid of that slime. It was forming from everyone's bad emotions and stuff. So it creates that, like that gunk and that fluid, right? So that means you entered my place and it jumped into me that fast and sucked into me, and I'm throwing it up for you. And now you're clean and clear. You're ready to go. Now, I'm not against that, but that run, because if you're in my home and we're doing it, I'm going to be part of it, and it's okay. But outside of that, I can't have that go on. I can't come and hang out with you and your friends if you're going to be those type of people. And I'm not shaming you. You live life. I'm not going to be there Monday night drinking with you guys, because drinking leads to cocaine. And everyone in this room doesn't know. I've been here for 20 years, longer than most people if I was in that situation. I had 25 years on you. I know where this goes. And now everything in the room is looking at me. I don't want you looking at me. I want to get strong enough to walk into the room and everyone's like, holy moly. And whatever darkness that stuff is doesn't develop. It empties. You throw up. You purge for yourself in my presence, right? Get it out and watch it all fly away. I want to be that potent, right? You can't be in my presence. That's where I'm working to. So this whole thing, especially in recent weeks, I haven't even done my show in a few weeks. And the last one I did was really weird. It was a weird one. The energy was weird. It's becoming very personal to me. You have to take the time for you. You have to lose weight. If you're gaining weight during this time, you're not doing something right. And I'm not being judgmental. I'm talking about, what are you holding on to? We're in density that's getting lighter. We're getting lighter. If you're getting heavier, what are you doing? Right? Well, it's health and what are you doing? I'm not here to judge you. I'm telling you to look at what you're doing. So you look. You think people judge you, and that's, I judge him. He's a mess. He's a this. So what? You know how many people talk about me all day, all night? But I have to change me for me. So it doesn't matter what you think. I don't care if it offends you and your religion or whatever. Don't listen. I'm not in the street doing it, but I won't engage you in the street either. Right? They say don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. I won't. I'll go, oh, look at that. Because I see where you're at. I see what level you're on.
It sounds to me like you've been going through some boundaries and purging, brother, a little bit. Some physical realm purging.
Yeah. Well, this is what it's all about. Bringing your highest self and all the levels of all the other multidimensional versions of you. The Russian nesting doll version, from the smallest to the top, the biggest, is coming back together to be one. So if I'm busy telling everyone everything and then having to repeat it over and over and over and over, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here, like I was saying this right before we went on. My purpose isn't to get famous. I was already popular, beyond popular.
Right.
It was terrible. I didn't like it at all. It was to wake up my family. Right, to find the tribe.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly.
And then to unite the tribes. Right, I don't need to hang out with you. We don't need to take long walks holding hands and hot showers. However, when it goes down, do you have my back?
Right.
And the answer is always, yeah, we got you. I don't like you, but I won't let it go down. Yeah, why? Because we share this space. It's called Mother Earth. We all have a relationship with her. Why? Because she's everyone's mother. Literally everyone that's here, that is born here, it's your mother. So there's an agreeable level we could all meet on. Right? We need this space. Starts there. I got you. If things come from interdimensional outside of whatever time, space, and they want to mess around and eat children and drink blood, we got you back. However, you better call before coming here. And that means don't text and email. It means you call and get someone on the phone before you come here. Right? And it's like, yeah, I got you. But I'm okay with that. Because when it goes down, I'm going to call you. And you know you're going to be there. Because we got this. This was a purpose of divinity on the highest level, non-religious speaking. You're the all, you're a source in a human form. And you were given individuality, so you're exactly source. So when people are like, oh, no, not little me. Oh, yeah, little you. Let me see. You're an extension of source. You're made of the same exact stuff. You have free will and your own identity and can do all the same things as big source. All of the same things. All of the same things. And you're like, oh, no, that's cool.
No,
it's not me.
like
I got to pray to him.
You don't want that responsibility, right? It's like, I get it.
Yeah. And it's like, nah, I said it too. First time, I think last show, that's too much responsibility for me. And they're like, well, it's you. Like, you create your own reality, sir. It's you. And then, well, what about the children in Africa? Don't worry about them right now, because you're the one that's putting on weight, that can't get it together, that wants to punch holes in the walls, that wants to go crazy and psycho and not, you close the door and nobody sees me behind closed doors. Yeah, the whole universe is watching, buddy. And everyone in every other universe that could watch, because we're the most important thing. So yeah, we do see you and everyone else sees you. Stop it. Right. So get on board, because it's what we're here to do.
Wait a minute.
You don't
Am I
plug back
missing
into
something
the
here?
matrix.
Who's punching holes in walls, bro?
Metaphorically,
gotcha.
Sorry,
okay.
my apologies. Metaphorically, people do different things, and they hide behind it, like a mask they wear. Like outside, I'm a gentleman. I shake your hand. Inside, they drink and punch things.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you okay. You don't get to judge other people. Don't. You got to fix that. This is the time that I'm taking, right, where I'm fixing myself. The only way to do that is to fix yourself. It's not to sit in front of the TV and judge someone else and drink more beer or do whatever. But I'm not saying any of that is, there's this line of balance.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Not against beer. I'm not against having a great time and looking at the TV being like, whatever, sports. But it's time and place. Right? If you're just wrapped into stuff too tight, are you fixed? Should you be judging, like worrying about when you throw things like the kids in Africa that are starving at you, and then you have a starving neighbor or someone that can't pay for their school books or something, you know what I'm saying? You're still part of the problem, because you could help that person that's right next to you. Like one of the things, the backyard next door was terribly overgrown, and the guy just refused to cut it. Now, for 20 years, 25 years almost, right? So everyone hates this guy, and they're throwing hate at him. And I don't know if we spoke about this or not last time, but back here at my grandparents. So the yard's overgrown. So overgrown, he has the biggest plot of land, this part of the Bronx, that you can have with grass. It's amazing. It's overgrown. There's metallic objects and different things just thrown in the yard. The grass is 10 feet tall. It brought rats, raccoons, everyone's cats were killed. Every one of them. More insects than you even know. But every other house is clean. Well, this guy's house burnt down recently. The house just burnt down. Find out that it was overloaded. There was like 10 people living in a one bedroom downstairs. There was a lot of hate between upstairs and downstairs, the landlord and them. So there's hate. There's neighbors, hate. Neighbors across, hate. Well, you developed a backyard that pretty much brings everything that brings disease. And you can't be outside after 3 p.m. in the back within 12 houses, or you're done. Something's going to bite you or eat you. And 311 doesn't care. They need to see it from the street, and they can't see it from the street because the house is huge. Okay, so this is where we're at. Hate. I'm like, yo, hey, I go over there and talk to him when I came in. You going to clean this? You're a pretty Like you got kids and stuff. Like, just get back there and clean that, man. It's like a horror show. It's a nightmare. Nope. You go back and do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, he said to me. I said, listen to me. I have them on film. Whatever makes me happy. I just want you to trim your grass, bro, and throw that stuff out. But it's 25 years of hate and just throwing stuff back there. So what did you think that amounts to? So I'm like, listen, man, I love you, bro. You just lost your house. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a kid, my house burnt down. I used to live in the big house on the corner in this area. And he was like, oh, that was you? And I'm like, yeah, that was me. And we've been neighbors for years. And you didn't know that, see? So I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to take care of this for you. Do not put another thing back there for the rest of your time if you get this home back. Do not store anything back there. Do not put anything back there because I'm about to take over. But it's your yard, but I'm going to keep it beautiful. And he says, whatever you want to do. So I have him on camera doing that. And then one of the neighbors sees me. I go buy all this equipment, right? But what did it cost me? It cost me $200. So I'm like, okay, my summer and nights and days, every single night end at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm here. So imagine the people that live here that can't do anything. My old grandpa and my mother, she's old. There's just old people. Right? They can't deal with this. Right? You telling me this whole time nobody said just cut the grass? We'll cut it. Well, now the house is burnt down. The hate has been burnt away. I wish somebody would just do something. That's what I started hearing in the etheric. I'm out here eating mushrooms every night in the backyard, doing my show, doing this thing, doing my stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy a weed whacker. I'm just going to get to work. So I get all this equipment for $200 and in a half a day, as I start working, I'm looking around going, where's everybody else out here as I'm making the yard look? I'm just stacking it in the middle of the yard. I build a pile that's almost 20 by 20, right? It's ridiculous. Trees came down and everything that day. Why? I look up as I'm thinking, my nasty thoughts start to happen. Where is everyone? I'm baking I haven't worked like this since I'm a kid. I've been retired for so many years, disability. I'm like doing it though, because I want to live back here. It's right. He's connected right on top of me. Right. So I'm doing it. And as soon as the nasty thought hits me, where the F is everyone? I look up and right on the fence, just like Wilson from Home Improvement, is the neighbor, Joe the fireman, is looking at me. He's like, hey, what's up, buddy? You working? I go, I'm the neighbor, and I can't take it anymore. And he goes, really? Do you have permission? And I go, 100% permission. He goes, let me get my Sawzall. I'm coming over. Within 5 minutes after that, my mother was in the yard.
Yeah.
She had some electric device. And we took the whole thing apart in 4 hours. The whole thing, right? So they were carting everything away on Monday. It's a job that cost $850. The guy came and looked and said, wow, you did this for the neighbor whose house burnt down? $400. So, okay, everyone's chipping in to do the right thing. Everyone played a part in a role. Remove the hate. Just, I don't have to like you. We don't have to take long walks and showers. You do you, I'll do me, but I will help you because you cannot live like this. I won't live next to the roach infested place.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Right now, I took pictures I took pictures. People were like, you did that? You fixed that like that? I have before and after. And they were like, so like, wow. I go, I didn't do it alone. I started it, but look what I started. And during it, I lost faith a little in other people. I was like, oh, here we go with the Bronx. And I know y'all out here all the time bitching and complaining. And here I am doing it. And not one person said, can I get you some water, this or that? And boom, it becomes like a party atmosphere out there. They were there watching. They were. The guy told me the story as we were chopping things down. I didn't have a Sawzall. I don't have that equipment. He came in, started chopping everything down. He's like, my wife was like, someone's in the yard chopping stuff down. Go see what's going on. And he ran out. Why? Something in common. 8 of us that are connected to these yards had in common. At 3 p.m. every day, we would be staring outside, wishing we could use the backyard because we're all retired. So hate, and then the house burnt down. I heard his story. We were all cheering, and then we felt bad because there's that many people, and they were like, "Oh, what are those people going to do?" I'm like, "Right? Oh, compassion. Oh, the creator. Oh, here it comes." You feel it welling up. We talked about this the last time I was on the show. Your awareness of a situation is your responsibility to it. We live on Mother Earth. That doesn't mean you go over and start grabbing crackheads off the corner and throwing them around and being like, "Get out of here." But it might, right? It might if they come into your home or in your backyard. Right? Like there's a responsibility factor to a certain degree or another to educate at least, right? And then we can't live. There's 20 houses that can't live. They're all beautiful yards. This is the house next door to me went for $733,000. It's not even that big. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But we're in the Bronx. The train's down the block. But this is over here. We're right on top of each other. Like we think it's outrageous when we hear the prices, but so the houses are gorgeous. How are you going to keep a gorgeous house with this around? Okay, now apply that to you. Apply that to drinking ayahuasca. Like the guy next door is not going to drink ayahuasca, right? But he might need that help. And here I am and can provide that help because he walked back there when it was over and he was like, oh, and what did he do? He says, I feel, he's Iraqi. He says, Frankie, I can breathe. So the guy next door said, I saw you multiple times take the lawnmower, start it, and then do like 3 pushes and just stop it and walk away. He goes, oh, I was just overwhelmed. Oh, so you just needed help. Well, how about you apologize for hating him? Like, this is like the biggest lesson you could ever learn. And how it came the guy that everyone hated's house burning down, for the whole world to come together and fix his backyard to make everyone okay again. It's his backyard. You do what you want with it. You put stuff back there, fine. But then I'm putting a 12-foot fence up. Like it's a wrap. You get no more help. This is how it works here. Right? Like I'll play the game with you only so far. But if you're not willing to learn, hey, it's your life. But
you know
at
what
the
you
same
need
time,
to do, man? You need to take whatever funds you got, whatever you're paying up there, come down to the country and get you a big old spot of land. Big enough where you don't need any fences. You could get...
Dude, it's coming.
Man, you could get for that amount of money, you could get a massive spot of land out here.
My mother told me, I want to fix the house. So I said, how much you think it's going to cost to fix this home that's never been upgraded? Ever. There was one of 16 houses. They were all right, where I live. There was a racetrack long time ago in the 20s. And there was 16, I don't know what to call them, prostitution houses. So the men would go do jump offs and park the cars and go to the racetracks. You'd stop in, do your thing and whatever. That's how long ago we're going back. So this was like one of those homes. This was one of the 16. So this is where I live, inside this home. Okay. So what is this home made of? Asbestos, right? It's a giant asbestos bomb, right? Like the walls are made of plaster. I was like nailing stuff into the wall recently. Like, why is it like this? And she's like, oh, it's made of plaster. I'm like, that dust is so bad for you. The dust that I'm making, putting nails in the wall. Like, I didn't know any of this, right? So I'm like, so how much the upgrade? And they're like, well, it's like $150,000. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So to fix it up, will the 150 make the price higher on what they're casting the house as? Well, it's got to, right? Well, not necessarily. If it doesn't kick up 200,000, but it's already over 500,000. Like, who's coming? Who's coming here with this? Like, you guys are really reaching for this. Is it worth it? Or do you just sell as is eventually when you're ready to go? Just keep it nice and clean. And then you sell it and get that ridiculous price that it already is and go somewhere and make it worth whatever it is to you. See, me, I already have what I need. My family's here. So I stay with them. We're in a 1-bedroom apartment, Paul and me. It's tiny, 12 cats and us. right? And the
Wait,
cats live outside most of the time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you got 12 cats and they're all in the house. That's a big family.
Now everyone sleeps together, kind of. It's weird. Shifts and all kinds of weird stuff. But they would all be dead without us. We met all of our animals through that. As a shaman, I work directly with the animals. So I've had squirrels, injured birds. I mean, to just fall on my lawn. It's like the universe is giving you you don't have to help them, because a cat is going to come and eat that bird. If the bird falls out of the tree, it doesn't matter. That thing is dead. So you're in the death zone, right? Okay, so I run out, pick up the bird. That bird stays with me for 3-4 days. Winds up watching X-Men cartoons, smoking blunts, participating in ritual for someone if they show up, or just hang out. They're eating better than they've ever eaten. They're having experiences they would never have normally. And then as soon as they feel better, I open the door and let them out, keep them protected from the cats, of course, the whole time. And the cats generally won't touch you once I bring you in, right? So that's it, right? Then all of a sudden, the squirrels came. And then we were like, oh, we find dead squirrels here and there. I have a nice talk with the cats, do my thing, right? Wait, nobody touches any of the squirrels coming onto the property now. Squirrels come right up to my front door. And the cats look at them like, we want to get you, but no thanks. And they just walk away. It's almost like someone else is telling them, don't do it. And then they're just not interested.
Maybe it's you telling them don't do it.
Maybe. But this is with the shamanic workings. I just want to, who else would help? All right. So here's another, if you're witnessing on your property an abundance of cats and mothers that are pregnant, so there's already like, let's say 6 or 7 cats. And then you're like, wow, there's 6 or 7 cats, 4 of them are pregnant. Well, how many cats can one pregnant mother have? Right? Okay, so now all of a sudden numbers start getting astronomical in 2 seconds when they're in your yard. And what are you going to do? You're going to go outside and kill cats? Are you a cat killer? Do you kill dogs? Do you kick dogs? Do you murder animals? We eat animals, right? But cats, I love cats. They're furry, they're beautiful. I actually am a giant cat. I've ascended as the cat person already, the big white lion, right? Well, did I come all the way here from the highest dimension to murder kittens? No.
Yeah.
How do we fix this problem? How do we fix this problem? Oh, we get every cat fixed. Well, that's very expensive. You go over here, it's $370 per cat at the vet, right? So I'm like, I don't know what to do then. And then Paula goes, well, we could actually become the TNR experts. We could get trained, trap, neuter, and release. If you take the course and you pass the exam or whatever, it's free. I think it's $20 of processing. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, and they supply you with cages and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, what do I have to do? And she told me. I did it the next afternoon. It took me, I did everything online. It took me 90 minutes and I smoked a blunt doing the whole thing. I sat there. I understood everything that was going on. I got my little thing, printed it out, called them. They sent a lady over. They took all the cats, fixed every one of them. We raised the kittens when they came until they had to get fixed. Then we fixed them. That generation was it was like they knew us. They were like acting like humans at that point. They knew what to do. Whereas the other cats all had to be trained how to act and be. None of my cats scratch furniture. They don't act like jerks. They don't fight. I don't know. I've seen cat videos and stuff where they fight and scratch people and stuff. We've had incidents. That's it. Incidents. It's been 5 years. We have one here, one there. You know, one of the cats was attacked. And then you have to go help the cat. If the cat bites you, that's an incident moment. It's not like your cat's trying to bite you. It's scared. It just was attacked by something and you're running over big goofy Frank, with your big hands and stupid face, and you're right up on them. They're going to get nuts. Outside of that, nothing.
Look,
nothing.
You know what? Let me ask you about this. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in your life. I can tell you're going through some realizations and frustrations too, right? I've been talking about this stuff all week, but
right. Well, if you're the answer to your own problems,
exactly right. So when people do this divination, they're dependent on, like, I don't mind. I do divination too with tarot and stuff like that. But after a while, you start to see like it's mirroring what's going on in you. Like you could do a reading.
Because it's you.
Exactly. Right. Like you could do a reading and then the next minute you do another reading and it's mirroring like everything that you're doing. And it reminds me that, that scene in the Matrix when, the Oracle's like, don't worry about the vase. Right. And he's like, what vase? And he turns around and knocks it over. And then he's like, how'd you know I was going to do that? And she said, well, you know what a really bake your noodle is? Would you have knocked it over if I would have said anything? So it's like, is that Oracle a part of us? And we're just causing all this stuff on a higher level kind of thing?
Just a projection.
Yeah.
Right? The teacher appears when you're ready to learn about it. That's why I tell people, just say, I can't stand when people go, because I was this person probably at one point. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, you ain't going to see nothing. You're in a holographic machine based on focus and thought. What's wrong with you? You're like doing opposite. You're like locking yourself in. You just got to, with intent, put your hand over your heart. The universe, ready for the magic. I'm just done with everything else. I'm ready now. Show it to me. I'm ready. I apologize for not paying attention. Don't be rude about it. Don't be like, show me, because if you do, they'll show you. Oh, they'll show you, but you don't want the Godsmack that comes with that, right? You don't want to get into a car accident because you're shouting it out in your car, right? But nothing serious, but enough to wreck your car, like to prove a point, right? You want it nice, like, prove the point, and then something comes on the radio, and then you turn around and see the sign, and you turn the TV on, and it speaks to you, and the sign is on the TV, and then you turn around, it's 11:11, and there you are. Surrounded by it the whole time. You just didn't want to see it. You were ignoring it, right? 11:11, tarot cards, Frank Castle, nonsense. Oh, so you're not going to be part of that. You're literally saying, nope, no thanks. You're the creator of your reality. You just shut everything down. Mantras are nonsense. Well, I guess they are, right? Prayers are nonsense. Anyone that prays is whatever. Oh, okay. Well, and you beat. What do you do? What do you do? Well, I don't do nothing. What do you do? Other than your 9 to 5, tell me. Write it down on a piece of paper and show me.
Right.
They'll get maybe 1 or 2 things, man. They don't even know what they like anymore. Well, I wish I had a motorcycle. Well, I asked you who you are, what you do.
I wish I had a motorcycle. Like, that's not the answer that I'm trying to get from you. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know exactly these people, right? It's like, oh, what about this? It's like, no, it's not about this. I asked you, what do you like? What do you do? What do you are? What are you? You're busy judging everyone else, fool. And the joke's on you. The reason why you're sitting in the chair while the other guy's throwing the touchdown is because you refuse to get up from the chair. Metaphor, naturally. You're not going to get up and throw the touchdown, but metaphorically you are.
Right.
Yeah, you are. You are. What do you need to make better in your life? Is it the relationship with your spouse?
Mm-hmm.
Relationship with your kid? Well, I don't know how to connect. Well, maybe, like, we're in an interesting time. There are new ways to connect. You maybe don't want to because the old ways are still trapped in your mind, right? Like pot's still bad and drugs are like this. You're a drug. I'm a drug. You're holding. Everyone's holding all day, all night, alchemizing drugs. It starts in the morning with caffeine, or better yet, the fluoride you use in your toothpaste as you brush your teeth and gargle with fluoride-infested tap water. And you're telling me you know what's up? And you don't know nothing. We're talking on those levels, right? So you have to relearn. And nobody's judging you. The way I say it sometimes comes off jerky.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. People take me wrong, for sure. I get it.
It's a directed thought. It's right? We talked about this. The truth is the truth. You want to dress it up? All right, let's take a look at it with a dress on. Okay, does that make you feel better? Do I have to hold your hand when we look at it with the dress on? Okay, do I have to wear red while the dress is purple? Are we done dressing this up? Because the next one I'm going to hit you with a pie right in your face to wake you up, because it's getting ridiculous. Let's just take all this and put it away and look, it's the truth. Let's try to examine it from that view. You have a piece of it. I have a piece of it. Let's take it and put it in perspective. Let's put the thought on the table. We have more alike than, and we have more in common than you would think. We have more things in common than people think.
Yeah, we're mirroring each other all the time, and we feel like we're opposites, or we don't get each other, but we're definitely just mirroring each other all the time.
Yeah, so when you drop the judgments in the mirrors and remove the masks, you're just awesome. And now, granted, it's necessary. The things were necessary. They were necessities to do that. I have to guard my heart because I can't let another thing touch my heart. My dog died. I can't ever love another thing. Well, or you.
Who wants to be around that, though? Like, really? Who wants to be in that vortex? Not me.
We didn't get to this last time I talked, but my cat was murdered by one of the snake men. Right. What? So in front of me and Paula, and then because they couldn't get me. So I lost my mind.
I would too.
For a minute. Oh, you don't even know. See, I'm getting all welled up thinking about it. So then I had to talk to someone like me that's been doing it longer to take me down for a notch. Right. And then when I dropped down a notch, a new cat was at my door hours later, and a new relationship was being developed. And I turned from it and said, I don't want a new cat. My cat was just taken from me. Now, meanwhile, Sherman was my micro lion. He's a micro lion, showed up the next morning. See, the universe has a funny way of distributing technique and power on the chessboard. You get attacked by a couple of reptilians. Etherically, they walk into your home. We'll send 25 cats. Ha. The cats are doing something we can't even. When they're happy and healthy and doing what they do, they do that thing with their paws.
Yeah.
It looks like they're making biscuits or whatever. All right. They're transmuting energy. They can see in 4D.
I was going to ask
see
you about
you
that.
Without your skin. Yeah, they see it. When they stare off and they're looking, they see it because I see it. All right. When I got attacked in my home, right? The attack came through etherically, and then they were walking around. It was like they had invisibility camo or something. I couldn't explain it, but the cats saw it and I saw them. And then the next thing I know, it got physical, and then they just were there. So that was off of them. So you could just see them. Right. And I was like, oh, you saw that. It was impossible to see. Like my third eye picked it up, because my gift is to see. That's it. Up and down in density. So I could see you. You're not hiding from me.
Dude, I gotta take a break here, brother. But I want to, I want to ask you about that. This cat thing. I think it's like, oh, here we go again. Like we're talking about cats on a Fringe show. Yeah, but there's something to what you're saying. I got a story I want to tell you. It's a quick story, and then you can tell me what's really going on. Like, we'll be right back though with Frankie Fearless, Frank Castle. Stay with us.
Listening to The Fringe FM.
Hey, Fringe listeners, this is Dave Cruz, host of Beyond the Strange Radio, asking you to join us live Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on The Fringe FM. Visit BeyondTheStrange.com for links to chat, social media, and schedules of the show. And remember, always stay strange. Hasta.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
My name is Jake. I'm from Billings, Montana, and I am a void walker.
Hey, Joe Root. Thanks for lighting the void. This is Janine in the bluegrass of Kentucky, and I am a void walker.
What's up, guys? This is Damien from San Marcos, Texas, and I'm a void walker. I listen to the show to keep myself aligned with the world.
Hi, this is Laura, aka Laura Lavender. I'm from Las Vegas, and I listen to Lighting the Void because it helps me understand some of the strangest experiences I've had. So thanks for all that you do and for always being there for us, Joe.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Hey, this is No Way Jose, a Northern California Piscean stuck in the Arizona desert. I'm a void walker, and I got the shoes to prove it. So what do I do when my soul yearns to delve deep into the realm of the unknown? I aim my satellite straight into the night sky and catch a smooth ride on the KTLK-DB radio waves. I tune into Lighting the Void with Joe Root on the Fringe FM.
Joe, Lighting the Void is the best show on the planet. This is Barney, your friend from Facebook. Thank you and all the crew for all you do. Namaste, my friend.
This is Macon from the foothills of North Carolina, and I am a void walker.
G'day, void walkers. This is Lily from down under Australia. The world may be small, but the enigma is great. So let your curiosity take you for a journey with Joe Root.
Hey, this is Fee, coming in from Central Maryland, and I am a void walker.
This is Kevin Doherty, a beginner void walker. I'm from Vancouver, BC. I know a little about a lot, and as Leonard Skinner said, I'll guess the rest. I learned a lot from Mr. Root in the show, and heard it from the beginning. I knew right then he was going to be a new art gal. Thanks for all your shows, and keep it up.
Hey, this is Derek from Mass, a.k.a. the Night Stalker, and I'm a void walker.
This is Mark from Chicago, and I walk the void to ascertain what is consciousness.
My name is Jared Johnson, and I'm from Humboldt County, California. I do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. I do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden as a part of a family of explorers of consciousness. I'm a void walker. Thanks, Joe Root.
I'm Clyde Lewis. You are listening to The Fringe FM.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Have you ever seen an ad or banner which brought you a feeling that someone is reading your mind or even listening to your conversations? Your online data is being used against you. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable. You can use it on as many devices as you'd like simultaneously. Surfshark encrypts all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensures that your IP address remains hidden. The VPN service that we use at UFO Seekers, plus 1 month free for $1.99 a month. Visit surfshark.deals/seekers.
We all have that story to tell in our lives. The winds were howling, the ground shook, you could hear rushing water, and then history repeats itself. When there's no power, refrigeration fails, stores with their shelves stripped bare, ATMs can't operate, deliveries stop. Then what? These events can last days or weeks. You need a plan. In statements made during recent interviews, FEMA Administrator Brock Long has repeatedly urged all Americans to understand three truths. FEMA is broke, the system is broken. If this is the new normal, Americans can't rely on federal cavalry when disaster strikes. Don't get caught out in the elements empty-handed. Prepare with us by going to preparewiththefringe.com and get your 2-week food supply. 92 servings, 8 food varieties with 25-year shelf life. Normally $137, now only $75. Or get a month's supply, normally $247, now only $147, shipped in one business day. Just go to preparewiththefringe.com or call 888-440-7931. That's 888-440-7931. Get this great offer and be prepared while it lasts.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Have you ever seen an ad or banner which brought you a feeling that someone is reading your mind or even listening to your conversations? Your online data is being used against you. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable. You can use it on as many devices as you'd like simultaneously. The VPN service that we use at UFO Seekers, plus 1 month free for $1.99 a month. Visit surfshark.deals/seekers. We spend almost as much time online as sleeping, and that's 6 to 8 hours a day. The internet knows a lot about us, and that's why we should care about our online data. Use Surfshark to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel so that no one can see it without your permission. Visit surfshark.deals/seekers. You need to protect yourself from surveillance and targeted advertising. Surfshark encrypts all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensures that your IP address remains hidden. The VPN service that we use at UFO Seekers, plus 1 month free for $1.99 a month. Visit surfshark.deals/seekers.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Somewhere between abnormal and paranormal, there's a show called Into the Paranormal. I'm Jeremy Scott. Hear me live Saturdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern on the Fringe FM.
Message is being broadcast by the Department of Defense of the Republic. At 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, multiple unidentified objects were confirmed to have entered Earth's atmosphere.
Discovery Houston, 20 seconds to LOS speed rescue. Contact, nice to be in orbit.
The first message that comes to you is you are a divine being. You matter. You count. You come from the realms of unimaginable power and light, and you will return to those realms.
The vast stretches of the unknown and the unanswered and the unfinished still far outstrip our collective comprehension.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting from Forest Tower Studios, all the way from the Deep South. Now, here is your host, Joe Root.
All right, welcome back to the top of the hour. We're here with Frankie Fearless, Frank Castle. Last time he was on the show, we got to talk about his experience of awakening, which was a massive story. So if you've missed that show, go back in the archives and go check it out. Speaking of archives, we are going to get them all caught up. I'm doing a lot of things in priority, so don't worry about that. They're coming. And then tonight, we've been talking about efficient energy, how to work as a team, how to set the example, how to get on the same frequency with everybody, or initiate a spark so a frequency can happen. And, we were going into the break, and you were talking about the cats that came around and this vibration thing. And you know what I've noticed, like with cats, Frank, is the times that I've had out-of-body experiences or astral travel experiences, things like that, one of two things have happened. I've either saw my cat Leo in the dream, also my old cat. Like the cat is in either the dream or the astral realm too, number one or two. And secondly, I think there's a massive symbolism to the cat. So what I'm trying to figure out is, does the cat symbolize something, or is the cat really there, or is it kind of both? You're kind of connected to this.
It is what, yes. Well, I'm sure you are too. As we pass through layers in the university, as we ascend through this, we're all going to the same, all roads lead to Oz. It's just some people were there a few steps ahead. Some people are seniors, and there's juniors and, freshmen and sophomores. So we're all there, and our job is to help pull each other up through this. So from my examples, anytime I've been attacked, and I've been attacked by demonic in the beginning, the cats were immediately there. This is how I learned how to deal with Paula's first two cats. The attack on me happened in her home. We knew something was in the house. She had her own house, and it was upstairs. But I was like, you have someone else in the house. Paranormal. Naturally, there's a spirit in here. But he's afraid of the other thing. What's the other thing? I go, your roommate brings it. So I was doing ayahuasca in the house, so I could see it. And it got me alone in the basement. And it literally came out and said to me, I got you alone. We're in the basement. What's up? And it revealed itself, and I was frightened to my core, fell backwards onto the floor, and it turned into a wolf. Big wolf was standing over me, and Oscar the cat and Roxy the cat, the two eldest, came into the room, started doing circles around me. Oscar the cat sat over my head at one point and was swatting at it, right? And then all these other totem animals, like the mother bear, the mother frog, the mother of all, these different totems just appeared and started pushing it back. And the cat started doing this weird, one was going clockwise and one was going opposite of that around me. And I'm witnessing this because I succeeded in my task of defeating this thing in the house and removing it, transmuting it, getting rid of it for the entire home. I didn't know at the time that my experience with it was doing that. But I had to stand up and get up, say no more, like you go through the whole thing and you're nothing. We're going to take you apart on the creator, and this is happening. And I watched it physically occur with the cat's help. Now you see them whisk their tails, right? So they're doing this weird thing with their tails, almost like we call it fake spraying, but it looks like the old bumper cars used to get connected with that hook that would touch the stuff on the ceiling to keep the ride going, right? The electricity would flow through the grate on the ceiling, and the stick hook would kind of touch it, and the bumper cars would go. So I'm watching them do that. And that's exactly what they were doing. Their tails would flick and this spark of energy would go off and the demon would get smaller. As they would hiss and growl and do the paw movements and the weird things like their own personal ritual. But all of a sudden, both cats are in sync. What the hell is that about? But Paula was like, no, they're our little warriors. Now, there are multiple things because everyone here, this is a big story, but they talk about pieces. You're so powerful that your cat could actually be you, teaching you how to love.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to break this down in like really cool ways. You, I, others, when they say kings and queens roam the planet and everything, but nobody's from here originally. If you come here from somewhere else originally and land here, whether you're an angel, a demon, or whatever, a unicorn, Pangea, think of this, time before time. Everyone's here. Sasquatch, aliens, ETs, Horus, Thoth, the Egyptian pantheon.
Right.
Beings with heads of this character and bodies of this of human. Those of renowned Mount Olympus and stuff, right? Well, they started fighting each other. Shiva came from another planet with his people because he's the Jesus from that place. How did he get there? He had to go ascend. Came here. They settled their area. There were settlements in other areas, and they started fighting. As they fought, they were noticing they still had their powers, but they were getting heavier. The longer they stayed, it was harder to do certain things. They were becoming injured. Things would die. People, they noticed they could die pretty easily, as a matter of fact, the longer they were there. And they were witnessing the death, angels solidifying into density, and then dying here one way or another. And then the reincarnation, wheel of reincarnation, which is supposed to flow freely. You make the choice. It's your choice to come back or not. That's the beauty of this. It's hijacked by archonic, reptilian, AI, whatever forces, the bad guys. They throw the net around it. Everyone comes back as a human. And we see these other beings and we say, what are you? They say, we're your gods. We're God or whatever. We're this or we're that. So now you have angels, beings from all over, magical creatures, fairies, this, that, little people, big people, medium-sized people, thick people. Every being that was once here is now reincarnated here. So you do have Jesus walking among you. You do have Shiva walking among you. You do have Sekhmet walking among you. They are those beings. And as the veil becomes lifted and that stuff has been removed recently, in the past couple of years, we've been doing this. This is what's supposed to have been happening in 2012. Instead, they twist it and make it the end of all, right? And it's a bunch of us creators using the power that is gifted to us by Source, which we are the Source. It's us. It's you. It's me. It's us, right? And we come here and we solidify and we're these beings. Now, I've seen, I'm getting back to cats. My cat Sherman, I call him the microlion. He passed, unfortunately. But when I was under, he was a faux dog, a dragon, no wings, golden, big and scary, moved like Tasmanian devil, violent as it gets, but so unique around me. He wouldn't hurt me. He would yell at me and scream at me and hiss at me, and in the end, he'd wrap around me and love me to no end. I was the only one that could be in the room with him other than Paula, right? So on the other side, I saw this, and I said, what is this? And they're like, what, did you think the universe was sending you cats? We're sending you an army. You have your own faux dragon. These are your beings. This is your team, right? Then my cat, Reggie, saw me in the yard. It was one of the cats that was born out in the yard. Showed up. It was this beautiful cat. I loved the mother, Charlie. And then I said, Charlie was so skittish and so scared all the time, but she's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life. Now, as I'm saying this, boom, she has a baby. Babies, we call her Reggie. Reggie saw me on the first day she saw me, ran and jumped at my feet, and started doing everything that my cat Squeak would do, as if she knew the place as a kitten, already knew everything. So I take the cat in the house. I said, well, this is too many similarities. What's going on here? What's going on? All right, Frank eats a handful of mushrooms, goes in, says, hey, what's up with this cat? What's up with all these cats? They're like, well, you were just attacked recently, right? So we had to multiply the army due to the fact that natural law was broken. So we sent, and then I looked, and that was my cat Squeak that was killed by the snake, snake man in my home. It was Reggie. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? They're like, Squeak took the hit for you last time, remember? You remember that, right? And I'm like, yeah. Thing was in my house with me. There was 3 of them. There was one big, tall gray. It was like 11 feet tall. He was looking down at me. I said, why are you doing this to me, man? He's like, I hate you. I want you to die. I said, but I'm infinite, and I can't die. Funny, right? And he goes, take the closest thing to him that you can. And I looked, and there were 2 other beings there. One was a man that was a snake. He grabbed my cat and stuck his finger in the backside of the cat and broke it off. The cat was dead the next afternoon. I was screaming. I took the cat to the vet because it naturally immediately was showing signs of terrible things happening to it. And the vet was like, this cat has like advanced symptoms or whatever. But I took the x-ray and I brought it to another shaman. I said, look at this. I'm telling you the story of the snake that stuck his finger in my cat. And the only thing you could see in the x-ray, the cat's stomach was like blowing up, like really big, like it was going to pop like a balloon. It looked like a snake head with fangs. And I still have the picture, and I could reference this later on and send it to you so you could see it for yourself and use it with the audience. But the fangs on top and bottom teeth, and then as if it was reaching in from the behind of the cat and crawling into the stomach. And the guy was the doctor that was like, I don't even know. Like, I'm like, what is that? And they're like, no, that's the image it's producing. However, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to see everything else. We don't. This is like an advanced form of that cat AIDS thing or whatever. They were telling me all kinds of stuff, and the cat was dying right there. And I was like, you have to put the cat to sleep right now. You have to put this cat down right now. It's just going to be painfully murderous. So all right. So now we're back to the other one. They're like, yo, he's back. But these are they take the hit for you. So you don't take the hit. Do you understand now how much the love is there from these animals? That's why they're not animals. They're family members. When the birds tweet, the demons run. The darkness hides from the birds' tweets. The tweets are like laser guns into the darkness, not to get rid of the black of the darkness that you can't see, the thing in the darkness that has evil intent towards you and everything in its surrounding area, whether it's energy or not. Those tweets hurt. Right? People don't know that's the language of the birds. Right? I spoke to the ants when I was having the ant problem in my home. I don't have an ant problem any longer. But what do? I feed them outside. So everyone eats. Right? There's a way to do this that is way different. Now that I see my cats being taken from me this way or that way, and it's not really who it is. So I'm like, well, I want to meet the energy that's running the cat. And I thought there was going to be some version of me, some learning love and all this specifically, because it's everything. It could be any probability of these things that I talk about. And it was this about 4 feet tall cat man, fully grown, adult. That's a cat. He's wearing a little spacesuit. Real cute. Like Rocket Raccoon. Right? But not Rocket Raccoon. But like Rocket Raccoon. I don't know how to describe this to you.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, the little outfits he wears and stuff? Same thing. It's just one outfit. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Squeak? Because that was my cat's name. He's like, I hate when you call me Squeak. I hate it. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that, but you squeaked. You literally had a squeak. He's like, yeah, I had a nostril issue. So I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to you, but that wasn't your name. Squeak was like your nickname. Your name was the Great Kadu, the greatest mantra of all, the Kadu. And he's like, yes, the Great Kadu. He loves that. So I'm back with Reggie now. 3 years later. I even said to Squeak, theoretically, don't ever come back here. It's an evil world. Only if it's the most beautiful thing and you want to do this, you come back. Boom. Now we're there. And I'm putting it to the test. Is this you? Is this, how is this? And it is they're like, I've been here the whole time helping you. I keep coming back in with your team. I'm like, what is this team that you guys talk about? And I'm like, wait a second. And I see my higher self. I see Paula, her higher self. I see a load of different beings laughing and giggling. I'm like, so you guys are like, they're like, well, naturally I'm standing there, so I'm there. And I'm bugging out because it's me. Squeak's there with a Kadu coming back. It's like, yeah, I was your dog too. Remember that? Remember the dog that was killed? That was me. You loved that. Me. We had the cat and the dog did the same exact trait. And then I started seeing the other cats. And I'm like, oh, we have a dragon in the house. I was like, Luna's a dragon. She's actually a dragon. This cat took 3 years to come out of her shell. We found her on a fence post, shaking. Just took her in. No one could touch her. No one could do anything. Just this year, she started to come out. I'm like, she's a dragon. They're also portals. Okay, so they see, but something else could look in as well into what we're doing. They were using her that way. So I stepped in when I figured that out and closed that down. Showing up, going, what are you looking at? Why you're looking in my cat at me? Because my cat would just stare. Luna would just stare at me.
Yeah.
But it's a dragon. What are you afraid of? See, I don't see it as a cat. It's the next thing, right? It's what are you? Some are just cats. Oscar is a giant cat. On the other side, he's a giant cat. Gigantic. But a house cat. But the same thing. He's the panda colors and everything. I'm like, wow, look, you're just a cat. But you're like super giant cat. It's like, yeah. And then you can see who's running the outfits. This is, look, once you start seeing this stuff, you go, okay, everything's not what it's meant to be. Like what you think it is. Like we're murdering animals and doing terrible things. We don't treat our animals right and everything. Meanwhile, it's a version of you. It's one of your friends. It's a being that it's like part of your team, right? If we were on a spaceship projecting in, that's like one of your boys that's running that, or a being that you know of some kind that is cool with you on such a level that it would come back death after death to be with you and find you, whether it was once a bird, now it's a bee, and now it's a cat, then it's a rat. Still the dragon. You follow? Right? So then I get my cat, Buddy. I rescue him. Right? He showed up with Sherman, the micro line. Well, Buddy shows up. I name him Buddy. Buddy Love. I got Buddy and Sherman. People were making fun of me from the Eddie Murphy movie, but that's actually what I meant when I did it. And I kept calling him Buddy Love, Buddy Love, Buddy Love. I go under with him. He's got a dragon. I go, we got another dragon, except this one's like a little one. Like, he's got the head of a wolf. And they're like, your creations. Creator, it's your creation. I was like, yeah, I can't find a reference in anything with the head of a wolf on the dragon flying around. But it has like a long, thin body with long, thin wings. I said, what is that? Like, that's weird. And they're like, everything exists. You get to have your creation with you. I'm like, this is crazy. And that cat will only, I'm that space Jesus holding that cat. It needs to be held like a baby sometimes. Just held for a moment. Oh, I love you. I gotta kiss your face. Kiss your face. Oh, God, I love you. Oh, my God, so much. Okay, that's it. You can't touch the cat again.
Yeah.
But he needs it.
Yeah, mine does
because it's your creation. Yeah, there's things going on there. Okay, so like a cat will rub on you, on your heart, and then purr, right? And you're petting, you're purring. Your frequency changes within a few moments. The purr does something to you. It raises your frequency and takes you out of the confusion for a moment, if you let it. I know some people get annoyed. Oh, get off me. I'm like, the cat's actually pulling the crappy energy out of you. And then it runs off and runs outside and plays those little patty games in the grass. Watch the cat. Watch what it does. Watch when you get a little crazy and you got the demon in you and it lays on you and it takes the demon from you and runs off. And the cat goes crazy a little bit. And you're like, yo, what's going on with the cat? It's like, well, it took that from you and it ran away. So stop judging the cat. Because if you change your frequency, you'll notice the cat will stop doing that stuff. So it's you doing it, not the cat. Right? Like I go into houses and dogs are there. It doesn't happen all the time, but now more often than not, I'll just be like, can I take your dog for a walk? And they'll always say, oh, it never happened. Oh, da, da, da. I have the dog walking with me at my heel, just walking, talking to it and just treating it like it's a human, like it's another being. Hey, how are you? It's been good to see you. It's great to see your face. I love your fur. I love your eyes. I love the way you and stare at me in the face. Like I say all these wonderful things. The dog just hangs out with me. People come, like, wow, what's this all about? I'm like, you are the crazy one. The dog couldn't wait to be with me and be treated like that. That's what's going on, right? These are your best friends. It's your army sent from the universe. They're all different things. How do you know if your bird's not a fairy? Did you check? I know it sounds weird, but everything is real. Did you check? You talk to plants, don't you? Well, they react to you or whatever. Okay, eat some mushrooms. Take a look at what's going on. Literally, they're your teachers. Plants are our teachers. 100% our teachers. We are them. They are us. You eat a mushroom. The mushroom will tell you, take a look at me. I go, you look like a little man, little hat on. And then when you're under, they'll show you how you could just sprout arms and legs. And now, look, I look just like you. Right? My neural connectivity is that of the same as your mind. Just like the tree looks like your lung. Right? I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
so I'm like, it's above, so below.
Everything I've been talking about to you, I talked about today, and you're just repeating it. That's so weird. There's too many synchronicities that are happening. I was saying there's the exact same thing to somebody today. I was like, if you look at the structures, we were kind of both saying it, but you look at the structures of a plant, it's got all these veins and stuff in it, and it definitely kind of rolls out and extends itself in the Fibonacci sequence. But there's a lot of systems in your body that are doing that too. You know, they're rolling out limbs and veins and things like that. When
your cat sleeps in a ball, it looks like a Fibonacci sequence. I mean, it's right in front of us all day, all night. You pick up a shell on the beach, Fibonacci. You look at a snowflake. You look at yourself. There's another human right there. Boom, 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 boom. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's break through the BS, right? You, the creator. Look, Joe, you and I connected. I knew I was doing the show. You're great. I love being here. You love having me. The people were looking forward to it. It's great. We're connected. So when you're like, yo, man, I was talking about this all day. When you're like, it's too many synchronicities. Dude, that's the universe showing you. And that's me connecting directly to you to show you through the universe as a mirror. This is what's up. You're not incorrect. You are correct. You are feeling this, and this is what's going on. Right? So it's the great wake up. Right? So you don't feel crazy. Am I crazy? Am I alone? No, you're not. Do other people actually feel like this and go through this stuff other than Frank? Yes. Oh, yes, they do. You might think Frank is a little nuts. You meet Paula. Paula's the nicest person in the world. The literal nicest person in the world. It doesn't get nicer than Paula. Okay. That being said, she's a master over what I do. She kind of dwarfs me a little bit in terms of like potency and all that other stuff. She kind of dwarfs me. I may have the vision, but she dwarfs me. I get thrown around sometimes. She doesn't get thrown around. She throws around. Right? And she's only like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
And about 105 pounds.
Y'all are like
right?
a jigsaw puzzle that work together. You can see it on the show too.
Right. So everyone working in this symbiotic, awesome relationship. Yes, the birds and the bees and the trees and the green and all the stuff in between. It's here for you, for us, for me, you. Get the job done. Purpose, kindness, curiosity, fantasy, imagination, because imagination fuels the whole thing. What do you imagine when you sit there and you look at your cat? It changes your frequency when it purrs on you and you feel better. Like, what are you thinking? It's just a stupid animal? Or is it a gift from the highest realm? You came here from another dimension just to be with me. Now think about yourself, right? Think about you, everybody out there. Think about you. Think that this animal came all the way here to be with you, whether you found it out there or not. That's the connection. It had to get here somehow. You have the choice to pick it up or not. But I'm going to take the chance that you do, and that the universe will just work its magic and you'll find me. I'll wait 5 years in a cage for you to find me. Come get me. And then you see them and you take them home. What do you think that is?
Man, I don't know. I think you're right, though. So right.
Is that magic of the highest level, of the highest order? Is that consciousness coming to the rescue? You rescue them, they rescue you. I work symbiotically in nature, right? My cats don't attack anything that don't screw around, right? But mess up and you're in the death zone. But you shouldn't, it's just, it is what it is.
You're in the death zone.
But they're all working together.
Yeah.
It's this big nature symphony, right? You have a problem with something, a problem taking care of the animal. You go visit the highest self of the animal, the mother of all, let's say, dogs. It's the mother of all dogs. I mean, you don't have to do any of this, but it helps you do this. You could just talk to yourself and whatever. But this is how I do it. Oh, mother of all cats, I love you. Thank you for this opportunity to have my furry little family with me. But this one, and then said issue, you talk about it. What can I do? She won't come out from under the bed. Da, 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 right? If I yell and scream, it's just going to keep her there. If I say, people get cats sometimes and they don't put or an animal in general from the kennel or wherever, and it doesn't act like a cat would because it's frightened. It lived a terrible life till you got there. But you show them the compassion, they'll come out, they'll bud, it'll open like a flower. But if you're yelling and screaming and the cat's peeing on the bed, and that's because of you. It's all because of you. All right, granted, there's a percentage. You might have a crazy cat. I get it. That cat, hey. But at the same time, if you show the compassion and you work through it, the cat comes out from under the bed. It took us 3 years with Luna. She sits on Paula all day, all night now. The dragon that protects Paula. This little thing that sleeps with her tongue sticking out at you. That was afraid to eat her food. Right? How dare my best friend, my family, be so frightened in this place that you'd be afraid to eat food with your family. You'd so frightened you can't eat in front of me. That you walk with your tail between your legs. How dare anyone stand in between this thing healing? Right? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
This is the only way we're going to make it work. Look, the stories are great. You want aliens, you want to talk to the beings, do your job. do it right, meditate, show some love and respect, go smoke some DMT. You'll get it. If you're not getting it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Again, you're like, I want to do what Frank does. You got to go do it then. You got to give yourself to the process. It's there for you to take. Where do you think our evolution's going? Do you think aliens are not in the next level? You want to know why they don't just show us? Because we can't hit the frequency. So they don't just come here because they don't want to deal with our nonsense, our ape-like ability to be just ridiculous. Everyone's judging me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Everyone's looking at me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is my car bigger? Ooh, ooh. Like all BS nonsense. Monkey. Of course they're not going to be here. You can't treat your cat nice. You don't treat your dog right. Like,
you know, somebody shot at my cat, dude. Like, my cat is the luckiest cat alive, I swear to God. But someone shot at him with a .22, and it grazed the top of his head. It skint the hair and skin off of his head. A fragment of the bullet hit him in his back. I took him to the vet. Like, you could literally see how somebody would, you know, how the shot happened. They probably aimed right between his eyes, and they shot high, and it just kind of skinned his head, you know. And he came back home. He came back home. I used to let him wander around, but he came back home, and I know what happened. Someone ruthless probably just called, because he's a nice cat. He was probably walking right up to him, and they were going to use him for target practice.
Right? Where do you think that person's going to be in the ascension process? Do you think that karma doesn't get paid back?
I hope it does, because I wanted to kill him. Seriously. Like, that's
why we're not there when it happens. So we'd be in jail. That's the universe going,
Yeah, there's no doubt I would have been in jail for sure.
Best possible scenario is that everyone's still alive and you weren't there for that. I think about that all the time. You have 12 cats. We used to have 14, 15, then it rotates down to 9 because people get killed. Over here, they gun the car at the cat, right? So they go faster when they see the cat crossing the street, and they weave at the cat. So yeah, murder, death, kill. Where do you think those people are in the ascension process? Right? Like, this is what we're dealing with. We're all in different layers and different places. So even if Jesus showed up, that guy is still going to be doing that. It's not helping. That guy needs to learn for himself when he swerves and kills the cat, when someone swerves and hits a car, when he's drunk driving and he loses his wife and kid. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm being metaphorical. But then you understand what loss is, and you won't do that shit anymore. Like, and nobody's judging you, but karma is karma. And in this world, we pay you back, right? So you don't get up for the old lady or the pregnant woman while you're on the train, then you wonder why you can't find your keys. Like, and you got to pee.
Yeah, right.
And this is uncomfortable. Like, look, this is how it works. You get paid back. You get paid back for all that. Your awareness is your responsibility. So if you're aware of it and you're still doing it, oh, we got a word for you in the Bronx and everywhere else. I can't use it because we're on the radio. Like that person. So when you keep that stuff up and you pay that stuff forward, you know, we become shining lights. Like, I can't walk around and judge you, and I don't have time for any of that stuff. I don't want to do anything like that. However, you can have my seat, honey. Sit down. You're pregnant, or you're old, or, hey, can I help you? I don't care what anyone else thinks. My awareness is key. Mine. So is that selfish? Yeah. Is it good, though? Is it good selfish? You know it. You know it. So who's judging who? You go judge yourself. You stand in front of the mirror, right? Because that's all that. There's no one there to judge you. We think Anubis, when he weighs the heart, is actually judging you. It's just a process you go through. He's not powerful enough to be the almighty. He's just Anubis, and he doesn't want that job. He's a creator, just like you and I. We all have purpose and jobs to do. Don't be ridiculous.
So how do, like, in your world, though, how do, you know, because I know you've been to, like, other dimensions and stuff through these ayahuasca trips, but how do you interpret dreams, or do you even, are dreams like small things to you now? Because
I'm noticing that this is the dream, and everything. All right, when I go down and I go to sleep, I'll keep it untechnically ridiculous, and I go and I have a dream. Sometimes it's literally getting into another version of Frank, and I'm in some weird scenario most of the time. However, not all the time. Other times it's weird. It'll be lollipops, candy canes, flying monkeys. Frank's got to figure out what it means. It's under the full moon to the left, whatever. That's your brain working stuff out. That's all that is. Your body is a quantum system working all the time. It goes down, but it's never sleeping. You're resting, and then you pop out. You go do other things. So as you're in those different layers, you're either working something out, you're paying visits to people, things, places, living another life. And when I say visiting, you do anything. So the possibilities are endless, right? So that's why I went and I got my little dream book out. Oh, I had a dream. My teeth were falling out.
Oh, I've had that one before.
Falling out. Oh, wait. Ooh, it's so real, right? So, and they're crumbling. I'm trying to hold them in place. What the hell is this? You look it up, right? It's like, okay, I get a little help on this one. Watch out for the friends around you. You're being deceived, right? This happened every time I majorly blew up and became like the next layer of what I was. There's always deception, the teeth dreams. That's a lot different than going and living a moment or visiting a dead relative or flying through space and time. You know, it's completely different. So we have all these different things working out. It's multidimensional. What are you focused on? What are you tapping into? What do we need? Am I in the body while it's actually happening and just laying there alongside the body? Like there's just layer after layer of what you can be doing and what could be going on and what the mind is doing when you put it down for us. The body it's an organic technology skin suit. It needs to rest. It goes down. You don't rest. Like Paula tells me, she goes, I used to say, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I don't feel like I'm ever getting sleep. And they're like, no, you're never getting any rest because you're always busy. You're never at rest. Your physical body goes down, but you ain't at rest. The creator's up and walking around. You need to ask for rest. She started doing that. And she started noticing the dreams were easier. Things got lighter. Things were more relaxed.
At peace. Yeah.
At peace. They're like, yo, you just got to tell the creator, yo, slow that process down. Because you're just going at that rhythm. And there's deceptive rhythms, which is another reason why you have a cat. With the cat on your chest, the deceptive rhythm cannot exist. Like this is,
it just stops. It stops. Yeah. You know, like when I get sick too, Leo, like he when everybody's healthy and happy, he has this whine that he does. As soon as you hit the door, he's whining, you know, wah, and like pick me up, pet me, take me outside, do something. But when you get sick, like really sick, or even like massively depressed, then he gets up on the top of the chest of drawers, and you can lay in bed for 3 days if you wanted to. He's not moving. He's just laying there.
He's your boy. Yeah. They know. Dude, so, all right, so they see in 4D. So they're seeing the stuff you're not seeing that you should be seeing, though. Right? Like I do talks about this, right? So there's 12 keys in the octave, right? The piano, and then it shifts. 13 becomes 1 again. You're a 12. There's a 12 rack system. So 1, 2 is like an ant. 3 is your awareness, your 3D. 4D, you notice creatures with 4 legs have this weird spider sense or whatever. They're able to move quicker in their environment. You're like, oh, it's a stupid animal. But they're seeing something that I'm not seeing. They're aware of something. Even with me they're not looking at me. How do they see me? Like, how do they know I'm there from 100 feet away behind a full camouflage? Dude, they're registering you because they're fully aware of their surroundings. What does that mean? Well, have you ever been in a dark room, not aware of your situation, and be like, holy crap? Well, they don't go through that. They never go through that. You're the problem when you show up, or if they become prey instantly, then it's a problem and they run. They see what's going on from all directions all the time. They're fully aware of it. Energetically, spiritually, they see you glowing. They can see you're dim. They could see the creature you bring with you, which is why the cat will look over your head. Like, what is that? That's the thing attached to you.
Or in the top corner of the bedroom, too, sometimes. The top in the corner.
They're watching, right? The thing watch you. That's why the cat is relevant. That's why the things don't want to be around. So with me having 12 cats, it's not because I went out and said, I need to have 12 cats. I only had a handful. And I had a handful of those handful. And then situation and dire situation after another. And cats were just showing up. And then those situations, those dark, evil situations did not take place anymore. Right? So we didn't get far enough into the story where I talked about getting attacked in my home 9 months ago. I had beings come into my home and throw me a beating.
What do you mean a beating?
And then a beating, bro. They tried to kill me in my home, but they were with men, right? And the cat was the one that alerted me to the whole thing. And then they revealed themselves. They were moving through the home in camouflage. Camouflage technology, dude. When they appeared, this is very hard to talk about because it's so real. They split my head open, and I couldn't see who was doing it. Someone hit me in the back of the head. When I looked, I could just see things moving, and I was pouring blood out of my head. And one of them came through, was standing in front of my desk, and then I looked, and they weren't cloaked anymore. And it was an ET, little gray. It wasn't little at all. He was 4 or 5 feet, about 4 feet. He had a weapon, and he turned it on. And I said, how would you just do that? That's what I said to him. Someone saw, I'm dazed and confused, sitting in my house, just sitting there, right at my computer, right, freaking out now. And he says, well, what's going to amaze you? Once you understand, there is no desk, there's no computer, there's no wall, nothing there. And I said, oh, yeah, I freaked out. Pointed this weapon in my face. It looked like the Ghostbuster thing that they shoot proton beams with or whatever. It just the handheld piece. Picked it up. He put it right in my face. And I felt like this guy hates me. Like I don't understand what's happening to me right now. And he turned it on, pulled the trigger, and they looked like rings or donut, like flying donuts of frequency or energy. And they kept speeding up faster and faster and faster and faster. So I stood up and was like, I couldn't hear at first. I was like, what's happening to me? What is that? I go, flying donuts? What the? Yeah. And it sounds funny when I'm saying it, but it was not funny when it was happening. I thought I was having a seizure, and I was surrounded by people that were hitting me. And now this was happening, and I was bleeding. Paul was in the other room sleeping. And my body fell to the floor. And I was just standing there. I was dead. My physical body was on the floor. And I was the other being, just standing up. And I said, what the hell just happened? I was looking at my hands, and I saw them holding the weapon over me. And I looked at the guy, and I said, oh, I'm standing. I said, wait a second. Like I was like, they killed me. They just killed me. That's how you die. It's that easy. They max speared me in my home. Paul is going to find me on the floor, dead. And the being looked over at me, and he saw me, and he goes, he can't do anything like that. He goes, check it out. Paul is going to find them, and she's going to be like, this goofball gave himself a heart attack, because that's what he's going to die of. And I said, oh, yeah? I can't do anything? I wanted to swing on these guys. So you don't feel dead. I can't explain this. Like, I was there with them, standing right next to them. My body was on the floor, dead. I was not connected to it in any way. They were using this weapon. It was creating like some kind of frequency. It's a frequency weapon of some kind. Anyway, I'm going to prove my point in a minute. So how I knew it was a frequency weapon, I went and researched it, found the white papers for the actual weapon itself, which is amazing. All you have to do is type in what the weapon actually does, what you saw it do, and you get the white papers for it. It's existed since the 40s. All right. Anyway, so what I was seeing, because I got to make a preface for the moment. I saw what he was talking about, that there was no desk and there was no computer. I saw it was like standing in a blueprint. That's what I was standing in with them. It looked like a grid on the floor and above us, like we were standing inside of some kind of torus field. It was all blue, and everywhere there was supposed to be something, like the refrigerator or the couch or whatever, there was checkered lines just in the air, and they were just walking through it. With that being said, I turned around because I was like, did they come to kill me? Or did they, what's going on? And I looked and I saw the neighbors. So all the way down the block, there was no houses. They were standing there like frozen. And I'm going, no. And I could see them coming in. I said, I could see where their little portal entrance was. They put a little they were sectioning us off on the block. I live on a ley line. So that's my purpose, being there. I defend it from having think of it as like having like one of your main hub bases. And if you have darkness running that area, it's like now you have to send in your little military guys to take back that area. Well, they put me right on it in the Bronx. And I've given my life multiple times apparently for this, right? To hold the area, to hold the light in the area, to not let them do this. So I said, as I'm looking around, I could see this happening. I see where they're coming. And it wasn't just ETs, dude. This is the thing that was freaking me out because I flipped. There were men in full military gear, wearing tech, allowing them to be in that space with these grays. So for I don't know what a battalion is. I only know from G.I. Joe. So let's say every 13 men, right? You get 2 ETs. And that's it. Yeah, and they're the ones showing them what to do. I witnessed the whole thing, and it took place in seconds. And then the story gets intense.
But I know, but
we need a break.
I got to get out of here. The show's over, brother. We got like 30 seconds to roll out.
Then guess what? You guys will have to wait till the next time. I love all of you. Thank you so much. I love you.
but I mean, I can record it, for like the Patreon and stuff, and then we'll tell it when you come back too. So, like it's whatever you want to do. But I do got to roll out of here. So we're just real quick so Ryan can get on. Guys, thank you so much for coming out and listening tonight. Thank you for everybody in the Fringe FM chat, Pacho, all the patrons, the Fringe FM team, Steezy, Stevie, Chronox. Don't copy the show without written permission. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, same time, same channel. Stay with us. Ryan Gable's coming up tonight.
On this program do not necessarily reflect those of the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting, its sponsors, affiliates, or staff. Listener discretion is advised.